Juan Carlos secretly examines Felipe's DNA, and the unexpected end. For years, whispers and rumors have swirled in Spain's royal circles. Was Felipe VI, the current king of Spain, truly the biological son of Juan Carlos I, or was there a hidden story that could shake the very foundation of the monarchy? What seemed like idle gossip took a dramatic turn when it emerged that the former king, Juan Carlos, allegedly ordered a secret DNA test on his own son. A father's doubt. According to sources close to Zarzuela Palace, Juan Carlos, long plagued by scandals and personal insecurities, harbored quiet doubts about Felipe's paternity. These doubts were fueled by old stories from the late 1970s, when Queen Sofia and Juan Carlos were often seen leading separate lives, each engulfed in their own circles of friends and commitments. Behind closed doors, confidants say the former king confided his fears. What if Felipe is not mine? What if the crown rests on a stranger's head? The secret investigation. In 2022, after Juan Carlos had already been living in self-imposed exile in Abu Dhabi, he allegedly set in motion a clandestine operation. Using intermediaries, he obtained what was described as a discrete sample of Felipe's DNA, perhaps from a glass, a napkin, or even medical records. The results, insiders claim, stunned the aging monarch. The shocking truth. The DNA reportedly confirmed beyond doubt that Felipe was indeed his son. Yet instead of relief, Juan Carlos's world collapsed in an unexpected way. The test did not just confirm paternity, it also revealed something Juan Carlos had never anticipated: his own genetic predisposition to a serious hereditary illness, one that could be passed down to Felipe and, potentially, future heirs. What began as a paranoid quest for reassurance turned into a confrontation with mortality and legacy. The unexpected end. Those who know Juan Carlos say that, upon learning the results, he fell into deep silence. His greatest fear, that Felipe might not be his blood, was erased. But the revelation of the hidden illness became a burden too heavy to bear. For weeks, he withdrew from public life even further, avoiding contact with even his closest allies. According to one insider, he wanted the truth, and he got it. But the truth was not the comfort he had imagined. Instead, it was a curse. The Spanish public remains unaware of the full details, with the palace maintaining strict secrecy. Officially, the matter has never been addressed. Yet among royal watchers, the whispers grow louder, that the future of the monarchy may not be threatened by scandal or illegitimacy, but by the invisible weight of inherited fate. Part 1. The Secret Doubt. Behind the golden facade of Spain's monarchy, Juan Carlos lived tormented by questions he never dared to voice aloud. In public, he was the strong patriarch of the royal house. In private, however, he carried an almost obsessive uncertainty. Was Felipe truly mine? This doubt, according to insiders, dated back to the turbulent years of the transition to democracy. Queen Sofia had stood by his side with dignity, yet their marriage was anything but harmonious. Court rumors, discreetly silenced by the establishment, whispered of distance, separations, even third persons. For decades, Juan Carlos dismissed the doubts. But as exile and scandal isolated him in Abu Dhabi, they returned with force. The king who once bent history to his will suddenly found himself a prisoner of his own thoughts. Part 2. The DNA Mission. In late 2022, sources claim, Juan Carlos contacted a handful of trusted allies. The task was delicate: secure Felipe's DNA without raising suspicion. A glass from a private reception, a handkerchief from an official trip. The details remain hidden, but the mission succeeded. The samples were sent to a discreet laboratory outside Spain, away from political influence. Absolute secrecy was essential, recalls a figure close to the circle. If this leaked, the monarchy itself would tremble. Weeks later, the results arrived. Juan Carlos reportedly opened the envelope alone, in the quiet of his Abu Dhabi residence. Part 3. The Revelation. The first page of the report confirmed it. Felipe was indeed his biological son. The doubt that had gnawed at him for decades dissolved instantly. But what should have been relief became a devastating blow. Because further genetic markers revealed something else, a hereditary condition linked to cardiac health, the kind that may remain silent for years before suddenly striking. For Juan Carlos, it was as if destiny had played a cruel trick. In searching for reassurance, he uncovered a truth that placed a shadow over his son's future and the monarchy's continuity. Part 4. The Unexpected End. According to Confidence, the discovery crushed him. Juan Carlos, once defiant against critics and unrepentant about scandals, grew somber and withdrawn. He stopped making public appearances, avoided old friends, and reportedly whispered in moments of despair, "I wanted certainty, but certainty destroyed me." For Felipe, the king who must embody strength and stability, the truth remains hidden. Whether or not he has been informed of the full results is uncertain. The palace maintains absolute silence, determined to shield the institution. Yet one thing is certain: Juan Carlos's secret investigation, meant to secure his legacy, may instead have sealed the monarchy's most fragile future. Part 5. Reactions in the royal family. When whispers of Juan Carlos's secret DNA test began to circulate among insiders, the reactions inside the royal family were said to be explosive. Queen Sofia, who had endured decades of rumors, reportedly reacted with cold fury. According to a confidant, she exclaimed, "After all these years, after everything I protected him from, he still questions me." For her, the test was not about Felipe at all, but an insult to her honor as queen and mother. Felipe, unaware of the full details, was said to have noticed the tension. Some sources claim he confronted his father during a discreet phone call, demanding, "What have you done?" The conversation allegedly ended in silence, Juan Carlos unable to admit what he had uncovered. And then there was Queen Letizia. Ever protective of her daughters and of Felipe's fragile public image, she reportedly pressed her husband, "If there is something we need to know, you must tell me. Secrets destroy families and crowns." The palace, of course, denied everything, but within private chambers, the royal family found themselves trapped between loyalty, anger, and fear of exposure. Part 6. The Public Whispers. Outside the palace walls, the Spanish public remained officially in the dark. Yet rumors have a way of slipping through cracks, and soon journalists and royal watchers began speculating. Why had Juan Carlos retreated so drastically from appearances? Why did Felipe look more somber than usual during official acts? Some tabloids hinted at family health concerns, others suggested private disputes. None dared mention DNA, but the undertone was clear: something was wrong. In cafes across Madrid, elderly monarchists shook their heads. Juan Carlos gave Spain democracy, but he cannot even trust his own son. Meanwhile, Republicans smirked. A crown built on secrecy will one day fall. The monarchy, already weakened by scandals, now carried an invisible fracture. The people did not yet know the full story, but the atmosphere of unease was unmistakable. Part 7. The Leak. It began quietly. A rumor slipped into the columns of a foreign newspaper. Not Spanish, of course, but a small French weekly known for daring scoops. In a short article hidden between celebrity gossip, a journalist wrote, "Sources close to the Spanish monarchy suggest that former King Juan Carlos secretly ordered a DNA test on his son Felipe. The results, insiders say, confirmed paternity, but uncovered something even darker." Within hours, the story was picked up online. Social media exploded with speculation. Spanish outlets at first ignored it, fearful of palace pressure. But by the following week, international media, from London to Berlin, ran headlines questioning the stability of Spain's monarchy. The palace issued a cold statement: "We will not comment on unsubstantiated rumors that seek only to damage the crown and Spain's institutions." But the denial came too late. The leak had given shape to what had previously been only whispers. For the first time, ordinary Spaniards openly debated the possibility of deep secrets within the royal family. Part 8. The political storm. The Spanish government could no longer remain silent. Opposition parties demanded clarity. If the monarchy's succession is under question, the people have a right to know. Republicans seized the moment, insisting this proved the anachronism of the crown.